Hello everyone, my name is Vikas Dhayal and today we have with us Dr. Neha Goyal.
Hi.
And I would like to introduce her by saying that she got 476th rank in UPSC CSE 2021, and out of the people who got into the list this year, she scored the third highest marks in anthropology. So I would like to congratulate her and I would like to bring her
Thank you,
to
Vikas.
the audience, the viewers, and I hope she can impart some of her knowledge to people watching.
Yes.
So, Dr. Neha, how was the journey of yours in the attempts that you took, and how was the journey, and how do you feel after basically getting this particular rank?
Okay, so basically it was my fourth attempt, UPSC CSE 2021, where I got this 476 rank. So in my second attempt, I wrote mains, and at that time I really performed very bad in UPSC
Mm-hmm.
in anthropology,
Mm-hmm.
and I could not qualify. Even I did not get a call for interview.
Mm-hmm.
Then I worked upon anthropology. I got fear in my mind that I cannot do well with this subject, but I somehow overcame my fear, and then I researched myself. I studied a lot. I read so many toppers notes, so many textbooks,
Mm-hmm.
and then I innovate my own strategy that
Mm-hmm.
how to complete this syllabus within short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I somehow I qualified. I got this many marks, and I am sure that I know this subject quite well. So this time also I wrote mains.
Mm-hmm.
This was my fifth attempt, and it was good, I feel, so far.
Mm-hmm. So, Neha, one thing which stood out in your journey is that you had a very low score in your second attempt
Yeah.
in anthropology,
Yes.
and then you increased this to the one of the highest marks.
Yes.
So, what was the one thing that you changed in your like second attempt and fourth attempt? So, can you tell something about
Yes.
that?
Actually, what I feel, this anthropology whole paper one and paper two, both subjects are integrated. And I feel that we don't have to read too much, though I researched a lot. But if we have a good strategy, for example, for biological part, we can use sociological examples. That there was a question in how marriage rules govern आपका ये biological inbreeding, how their disease and how society both are interconnected. So if we understand these things basically, so we can write a very good and comprehensive answer, and then it will fetch you a good mark. So this I understood quite well during my this research and my this 2 years of time. After 2019 I got time. So this was my basically the strategy that I able to link the subject society, socio-cultural part with the biological part, and archaeological part with the biological part, and the biological part with the ये आपका linguistic as well. I just somehow managed and integrated these things in my strategy.
So, Dr. Neha, what was like? So you were basically able to understand that this is going to be working if you can integrate and link with different parts of the syllabus and parts of the domains of the syllabus.
Yes.
So, but how much of the marks that you increase is because of the notes that you made, and how much is it because of the answers that you wrote or the practice that you did? So, how much do you think is the weightage for knowledge vis-a-vis answer writing, etc.?
I think answer writing I did, like I used toppers notes, and I also read some books. But the thing which I did, that I did the PYQs questions,
Okay.
which was major part of my preparation, and I understood them quite well. If you can see this year's question paper, you will realize that the questions looks very tough, and but these are only framed from the previous year question only. So what I did, I used to analyze PYQs, and then I start my preparation for this attempt also, and then I somehow managed to understand that 80% paper will be from these many topics only. So and then it again, when I saw my question paper 2022, and it got repeated what I predicted, and the questions were from the same topics as well. Yeah. So this was my basic strategy, that we should focus more on PYQs, and then if we can manage to write good answers, so we can easily score these many marks. And I know my friends as well who qualified this year as well, they also share the same thought as me, like we have to perform. If we want to perform quite well, we should focus more on PYQs.
Yes. So the previous year questions that you talk about, that they should be focused upon, because as like in anthro, in any optional, they are
Yes,
very important
very
because it is
important,
static
yes.
and they might be repeated,
Yes, yes.
and you can predict the questions.
Yeah, and in the second, just I want to add on, like second paper is paper 2 of anthropology. Is quite dynamic, but here also you can use your knowledge of paper 1 to make your answer comprehensive. So where you can use thinkers from paper 1 like Radcliffe Brown, you can use, he did his study among Todas. So you can use these examples from, sorry, Andamanis. He did his work among Andamanis. So you can use his example in paper 2 as well, if you are quoting that tribe particular. So you can use, you can integrate, and this will really make a good impression on the examiner who is checking your copy. So this and that part also is not that much dynamic, which people think. And within the limited knowledge, you can perform very well if you know how to write a good answer.
Thank you. So one thing that I would like to ask you is that there must be many people who must be writing their first mains in 2023, or somebody who has written their mains in 2022. So what do you suggest? Like, it was your second attempt, it was your first mains, and you lacked a few things. What did you lack at that point of time? Was it guidance? Was it coaching? Was it answer writing? Was it the knowledge part? So if I take you back to the Neha of second attempt, what would you tell her?
I think I was lacking the mentor part, like who can guide me that, okay, study this thing like this. So I really don't, at that time I did not have anyone to guide me, to teach me, or to coach me. So basically, if I will be writing my first mains in 2023, so I would like to have a mentor who can guide me, who can tell me, okay, first do this part because this part has application over this. For example, I can tell you in paper 2, there are unit 7.2, 9.2, and 8.2. These 3 units are integrated, but what students do, what I did, that we read them in silos. So rather than reading them in silos, I know that we should read them in a go, so that we can integrate 7.2 part in 8.2 and 8.2 in 9.2. So this should be the strategy which I discovered, that how to integrate topics which are scattered around the syllabus, and we should integrate them in a go, and then we should understand, so that we can write a holistic answer. This I discovered myself.
So you took like 4 attempts to understand that.
Yes,
and you are saying that that is what we are doing on this particular initiative that we are taking. We are trying to link people who are experienced, and we want to link them, we want to connect them with the people who are taking their first, second, third attempts and have not written many mains or not qualified prelims. So this is what we felt, this is what many of my friends felt, this is what you feel. So this is something that can be done, and there are a lot of people who are experienced. So I completely agree with you on that part. And one more thing that I wanted to ask is that you wrote your this year's mains as well. So somebody like you who was already scored 297. So there must be some people at least who have scored like 270, 260, 270, 75. So like not so good marks, but not so bad marks. So for this particular attempt, what was your mindset? You thought, you must have thought of increasing the rank, that's why you appeared for it. So you must have thought of increasing marks in anthropology as well, because there are people who have scored like, there are toppers who have scored more than 315. So what was your approach this year?
Okay, so basically, again, first what I did, I analyzed PYQs, and I just analyzed my answers as well, whatever PYQs I have solved, and I try to enrich them using some examples, and then doing my research as well again, so that I can do a bit value addition to my answers. And then I'm saying that I know the subject, so I can predict questions that from these areas questions maybe are maybe coming. So I then focused on those areas, and I tried to enrich those areas through Google, and not so many toppers notes I referred this time. What I did, I just Googled them, and I tried to enrich my notes, whatever information I got from Google only.
So you basically did the same thing again, but you enriched your own PYQ answers notes this year more, so that you can write more dimensions. So Neha, you talked about like enriching your notes and predicting questions in mains. So as you are a very experienced person in this particular field, because you have spent some time in it, so what should a person who is like in first or second attempt, first mains, somebody is writing, so that person may not have that much amount of knowledge, and also I want to ask the second question, that what if, like, you have certain notes, what if somebody is really beginning it, really beginning the preparation, and that person is just trying to basically figure out from which book to make note. So what should those people do? Should they do PYQs? Should they do basically notes?
Okay, so according to me, first I think we have to understand the syllabus. We should first, I would ask you to guys just mug up the syllabus first. That is very important. Then see the PYQs. So you will also see a pattern that okay, some topics are very important, some topics are less important. So first thing you do that, and the second thing is try to write answers of PYQ only. I think rather than reading books won't give you much understanding. While when you write your own answer, then it will slowly it will make your mind set up, like okay, I was doing this mistake. And if you have toppers answer, I know there are so many toppers answer available in the market, so you can all easily cross check your answer with the toppers answer, and you can also learn, okay, this was missing and I can enrich this using these notes as well. So my strategy would be like, what I want to suggest you, okay, do PYQ. This is must.
So one more thing, because your strategy is all around PYQs,
Yes.
and like there are many toppers who are saying the same thing,
Yes.
that you need to analyze PYQs, you need to write answers about them.
Yes.
But one thing I want to ask, and that must be in minds of many of the viewers, that where to get these PYQ answers, whether they are good or not, how to evaluate whether whatever you are making,
Okay.
or like how much should we write, should we be like preparing for in the content part when we are analyzing the PYQs, 300 words, 500 words. So in that particular aspect, where to get evaluation from, and how much should we?
Okay, so in evaluation part, as I have said already, if you have any mentor, you can get guidance from there. So, and the other thing is, as I have already mentioned, that toppers answers already available in the market. So you can also get through that. And the third thing is, in the like when you will write first answer, and then later when you will complete your whole syllabus, then you will relook again on your same answer, on your own answer, then you can realize that you have not written quite good. So you can again do value addition on your own, because my journey was, it's like my own. I did not get any mentor at that time, and it was again my improving upon on my own notes again and again.
So you improved upon your own understandings.
Yes.
So there is one question that many of the anthro people ask, that how much important it is that you make really clean diagrams in your anthropology paper, where like there are diagrams.
No, actually I don't think so that you have to make a very good or clear diagram. If you have like rough sketch, because I know this time I also wrote maze, so my diagram, I can assure you guys that these were not
so people
good.
are really frightened. There is one notes that is
Yeah.
circulating, and that person has written some toppers notes,
Okay, no,
and the notes are so beautiful that they think that this is something that we need to do.
No need to get frightened by all those notes and all those beautiful figures. You can just make a rough sketch, because I know myself, I can assure you guys that my diagram, my writing is not so that great. So you can easily make a very rough, but it should just convey your message, like whatever you want to tell the examiner, what you want to convey. So just basic labeling and it is done.
Ma'am, one more thing that that basically becomes problematic for people, in particularly while writing the mains, is that in anthropology as well, in order to give equal importance to all the questions, equal time, and also doing justice to all the questions, how do you basically manage time in the exam? Because you have written 3 mains, you have gotten good marks. So what is your view?
Okay, so what I did, I used to write first 20 marker, like we have to write 5 questions. First question is out of like 5 question, 10 marks is. So I used to do these questions first and 5 compulsory question in the end. So what I did, I used to finish the 3 question set, like 45 marks, 20, 15, 15. It is around 50 marks. So I used to finish these 3 questions of 50 marks first, so that I can innovate, I can get good marks, and this works in my last maze. So this time also I did the same thing. First I did these 50 marks question, and then I did the compulsory question number first, and then question number 5th last. So this was my basic strategy.
And also, like in paper 1 as well, in paper 2, there are 2 sections of the paper.
Yes.
So what would you recommend? Like, more questions should be attempted from which section?
Okay,
if you have any.
This should be based on your understanding and your preparation. Like this means what I did the question, 2 questions from second part, B part. same paper in paper 1 and paper 2. So because I chose this question, because I have more information, more thinkers name, more case study, more examples, so that I can write a holistic answer. So they should be depend person to person, that where he is more prepared. And you, if you will see, analyze the paper from last 2 or 3 years, you will get that UPSC has like mixed part. Initially paper 1 ka part B, it used to be from biological anthropology, but now they have mixed biological anthropology in section A, and then in section B they have mixed socio-cultural anthropology. So it is not in like whole like very much
compartmentalized.
Okay. So it has not like that. So it is not like that.
You really like explained it really well. One thing that is coming to my mind about the optional paper in particular, that whether people can leave certain parts of the syllabus. For example, if you are attempting 2 questions, if you are going with it, and you have paucity of time, for example, between pre and mains, this can be helpful for somebody who is like sometimes lack of time is there.
Yeah, that
so
I can
you
predict.
leave?
Yeah, that I can predict, because I have told you already ki I know where UPSC is going to ask questions, so I somehow left few topics this time also. And
so this is what I have learned from many of them, many of the toppers, that people leave questions.
Yes.
People leave questions and people focus more on like the part which is going to be asked after analyzing, and you have done the same, because and you are among the best marks, not just in this attempt, but also in like past 5 years or so. So this was the section that we talked about anthropology.